Hey, it's Spence from LaunchFlows.com. I had a really good question from Cedric about a week ago, and I promised that I would get to him by Friday or Saturday with the answer on how he can make a checkout experience like this. I have my hunch as to what the tool is that he's using here, but the basic idea is to have either checkboxes or radio buttons. They're equally possible that allow somebody to, at the checkout itself, just choose between this product or that product and then update automatically. So here's the setup. I didn't use his exact product names. It's not important. Here we've got a WooCommerce checkout using LaunchFlows and Elementor and a variable product. The variable product could be used, or you could use individual simple products. It works equally well. And just to show you how this works, we could choose any of the products. I'm in the checkbox mode. To change this to radio buttons is just a styling issue, no big deal. If I want to choose a different one, I just simply check the checkbox in this case, and it takes out the old one, puts in the new one. And you'll notice on the right-hand side that it's changing, right? We went to the medium product. If I want to go to the jumbo product, I just click on that, and it swaps it out. Now, this is really simple. It's using our LaunchFlows dynamic bump widget. So let me show you how I made this. And to do that, let's go over here to the layout. What I've done is I've used the LaunchFlows widgets. So I go over here, LaunchFlows, type it properly, and I'm using the LaunchFlows component. And what I did is I made 3 of them. I just put it into place, and I simply chose the dynamic bump upsell. And when you do, you put a product ID in, and that's all there is to it. So what I did is I have 3 of them in place. The first one is product ID 38862, the next one 38863, 38864. I can also style the various components of it. So if I go over to our style manager, which is saved with the template, super easy, native Elementor, we go over here to the dynamic bump, and we can adjust the image width for our featured image, the size of the checkbox, the position of the checkbox, and even making a little more left margin, maybe in the title. You can also affect the style and the color and size of the fonts for all of that stuff as well. All right, so when I did that, I actually needed just to get the product ID. So remember I said we have a product that's a variable product. Here you can use either one variable product that has several variations based on an attribute, or you can have individual simple products. It works equally well because LaunchFlows knows how to get the product ID from each of the variations. So what I did here is I made a variable product and I gave it the attribute, just making this up, of size. You'll notice that I just put the 3 variations separated by the vertical pipe, small, medium, and large. And then what I did is I created the variations from that, which resulted in this. And here I just set all the other attributes of the products, including the price and so forth. Added the featured images for each one, and I'm ready to go. Notice that each of the variations has their own unique ID. 38862, 38863, 38864, which correspond with what I put in each of these dynamic widgets. Really couldn't be any easier. Finally, to make sure that they didn't allow more than one choice, which is a really cool option if you want it. In other words, hit my mic. What if you didn't want it to be this one or this one or this one, but instead you wanted to give somebody the choice to add any or all of them, kind of like an order bump or something? You could do that as well. But in this case, Cedric had asked how, I believe, to make it pick one or the other or the other. And to do that with LaunchFlows, we just made sure that we had chose our solo checkout. What solo checkout does is it says, look, any of those individual IDs can only live in the cart solo by themselves. So when you throw a new one in, the old one gets taken out. Now, if I wanted the other behavior, I could simply uncheck that box, and then I could add more than one of them in. I could still take it out by unchecking the box, but if you follow my drift, let's just do it. What the heck? If I uncheck the box, now the behavior goes from being only one of the 3 choices to being more than one. So let's add a second product in. And let's add all of the products in. And I changed my mind. I don't want all of these. I'm going to take out the middle one. No big deal. Right? Simple as that. So this gives you an unbelievably simple way. I want you guys to figure this out. What did we do here? one product made natively in WooCommerce. All we do is simply set the parameters of, in this case, what are the attributes? And then we go ahead and made it, in this case, if we wanted the unique behavior of one in the cart at a time, we set LaunchFlows to be solo checkout. We gave it a custom checkout location. We designed that just by dropping the widgets in and putting in the number. And we're left with that really amazing behavior. And we can adjust it and tweak it all in native Elementor. Compare that with some other products you know on the market for doing this, and you realize it cannot be any simpler. There's no complicated menus, and you can save any of the things in this layout for future use. So for example, if I wanted to save the way this widget was set up, I could just right-click and save this thing as a template, reuse it natively in any of my layouts. I could save the entire group of the 3 widgets. If I wanted, I could add another product, even if it's not from this variation group. So let's do that. If I wanted to, I could duplicate that, and then I could go to my products and just pick another product. Let's see what I got. Maybe I'll go, let's do the XYZ product, 38522. I simply go here, 38522. Update it, and now we'll have another option. So you can do an unlimited number of things. And because we're in solo mode, when I click the new one, watch what'll happen. It'll get, oh, I broke it. I had to do one other thing. I forgot to do this. We have to make sure we told this one, or tell this one what the checkout is to use. This was from another experiment, so let's go to LaunchFlows. There we go. And let's do this. We're going to do standard checkout. You always get the chance to tell the product where to go, and I just wanted to show that to you guys, that if you don't set it, it'll take it to the other checkout. So let's go ahead and refresh and do it. Okay, so now it works fine. So you can see now on kind of acting like radio buttons, I move up to the jumbo size, then I go back to the XYZ product. That's gonna essentially go in there, and the whole thing works as it should. So lots of options you could do, but all of them extremely powerful and unbelievably simple. You don't have to make flows, you don't have to make steps, you don't have to use lots of third-party components or widgets or add-ons or anything. Just basic free Elementor, LaunchFlows, WooCommerce, hopefully automation with WP Fusion. You've got an incredibly powerful system, and you can drag and drop and move this around where you wish. So again, I have to just show you one more thing, I guess. We want to move the location. That's no big deal. This isn't about skins, and it isn't about complex fixed things that you have to override with CSS. Just let's drag the stuff over to the right side wherever we want to mix and match. When we refresh, same idea, except now the stuff's on the other side, and it works just fine. This is Spence. I'll see you on the next video.